Hi, I'm Marcus. Welcome back to this series where Olympian Nick Willis trains me to run my fastest mile. However, I have very little middle distance experience. I got into running in my 20s and to date I've run 25 marathons, including all of the marathon majors. I've gone down from a 4:55 marathon down to a 2:56 marathon, but recently I've lost some of the passion for the marathon. After running sub 3, I wanted to go faster, but the two following marathons actually went slower. Even though they were both Boston qualifying times, it felt like I was going backwards and I just needed to take a break from marathons. Also, I needed to take a break from the label of being a marathon runner and just focus on being a runner. Although I can be quite stubborn, this insight didn't just come directly from me. It came from a few good people who could see that I wasn't enjoying my running and that I needed a reboot and a new challenge. Welcome to week 3, and this is the first week of my mile training. Okay, so this is a tempo run, and this is useful from the mile, 5k up to the marathon. Essentially, it's between being comfortably uncomfortable. You shouldn't be like absolutely running like you're being chased by a bear, but at the same time you shouldn't be cruising along. It should be a pace that you could hold up to an hour. In terms of what it should feel like, it should be somewhere between your 10k and half marathon pace. However, if you've only run a 5k, then a general rule of thumb would be approximately up to 20 seconds slower per kilometre and around 30 seconds slower per mile off your 5k time. Understand what your maximum heart rate is, and then you should aim to run your tempo session between 80 and 85% of that figure. If you feel like you're going to keel over and pass out, you've gone too fast. Okay, so as part of my mile training, I need to get stronger in the gym. So I'm here today at R&D Physio's. I'm here with Callum. He's going to run through what we're going to do today. So Callum, take it away, mate. Okay, so Marcus, we're trying to improve his quadricep and his hamstring ratio strength. So we're doing a lot of unilateral training, so essentially single leg work. So we started on split squats, and we started on single leg, stiff leg deadlifts the other day. Today we're going to start off with some Bulgarian split squats, and then we're going to do some single leg calf raises. Awesome, I'll show you how I get on. Let's go. Okay, so because Marcus has recently changed up his training, because he's now doing a mile race, which means that he's going to be running at increased pace, which his body isn't used to. So if you think about running, it's essentially hopping at pace continuously, right? And you're working on hills and declines and everything. So it means that one leg is having to hit the ground, absorbing ground reaction force, taking on gravity, taking on Marcus's body weight, and then it's got to be able to accelerate again to hop onto the other leg, and it is constant back and forth like that. So we're demanding a lot of energy and a lot of stretch shortening work with our Achilles and our calf. So to capitalize on that, Marcus is doing single leg calf raises so that we can build the strength, the stiffness, and these elastic properties that he's going to be demanding of his calf and Achilles when he's doing this type of running. I just finished my gym session with Callum, and I want to clarify one thing. My gym shoes I don't typically use as my next percents. The reason being was I just finished a quicker workout beforehand and I forgot to take them off. And for me, what I try to do is do my fast stuff first and then my gym stuff afterwards, because I think it's a nice way just to get things moving in the right way. Otherwise, you're doing your gym session on easy days and it just messes up the whole program. So just to clarify, I'll be wearing my regular gym shoes the next time. I just forgot to put them on this time. Okay, so it's Saturday and this is my first training session, but I'll be honest with you, I've actually done an early run with my club in these hills, Tread Park. I've just done about 6 miles in the legs, and this session is going to be 12 times 20 seconds. It's going to be focusing on just good form and effort really. So this is actually one of my favourite spots to actually run in. You see we are near Goblix, and that is the hill that I'm going to be running up and down, and it's actually one of the actual places that I want to do cross country, Drent Park, that people run up and down. So 20 seconds up and down this spot. My legs are feeling pretty warmed up from the run before, so let's get going with this workout. Okay, 12 reps done and dusted. Oh, definitely feeling it. So gonna take it nice and easy the rest of the day. Tomorrow got a nice long easy run. So it's incredible running around here, but mate, whew, first week training done, and I'll share how I get on with a breakdown coming up. Okay, so let's give you a little rundown in terms of how the workout went. Now, I'm not quite at sky level sports or punditry, like Roy Keane, Gary Neville type level of like analysis, but I'll do my best. Essentially, what I was looking to do in the sessions, I wasn't really trying to focus on time or the pace, it was really focusing on a couple key things. So effort and form, basically. Just trying to maintain like good form rather than trying to let it go too sloppy. So I was really working on trying to get good knee drive and good arm drive, because one of the things that I think people forget is that you don't just run with your legs, you run with your arms, and if your arms are driving, then it corresponds to your legs. And if you've got a good knee drive, then it means you're covering a greater distance. If you're sort of shuffling along, you're kind of taking less steps to get to that distance. So you really want to make sure that you're being as efficient as possible with your strides as well. So that's what, you know, the good thing about working hills does. But before I actually did that session, I did a session with my club. So that sort of tenderized my calves and my quads, but it was about 5 and a bit miles, and that was good. And I really did that intentionally because I really wanted to get into the session not fresh, to make sure that I was really working on form as opposed to kind of going out there and trying to run it too quickly. So in terms of times, I really kind of didn't really focus on times, but in terms of distances, I ended up running between about 0.05 and 0.06 miles each rep. The fastest rep, actually, ironically, was when all this went out the window. I said about pace and stuff. There's a couple of bikers behind me, a couple of guys on mountain bikes. I was like, there's no way you're getting to the top of the hill before me. So the competitive side of me came out there, and yeah, racing to the top, and gladly I beat them. So that was my aim. But the rest of them was kind of just really dialing it down a little bit and focusing on making sure I had a good technique, good arm drive, good knee drive, as I said before. One of the key sessions next week, which I'm going to focus on, is the hill session that we've got. It's the first group session, which we're meeting at Regent's Park, and I put in the details where you can sign up to join the next session. So we've got sessions on the 14th, 21st and the 28th of April. I've also got a time trial shortly after that. I think that's on May the 5th. But even if you're not like involved and you can't come down to London, please do sign up to the link below, because we'll actually be sharing workouts, and you can do this virtually. So it'd be really cool to see how you get on. I think it's so important. This is not just like a London thing. This is also taking part globally as well. And it'd be really interesting to see how you get on and what you learn about yourselves. So with that being said, let's head to the next session.
We can all start, and then once you've got the hang of the rhythm of it, you start to move forwards. What you guys, yeah.
There we go. Look at this. It's like a dance group. Brilliant. For those of you that don't know, the session is 10 by 30 second hills. So what you're going to do is you'll run up for about 30 seconds. Andy's going to be our marker as to where 30 seconds is going to be. So he's going to run up as fast as he can.
I'm going to set off at 80%.
He's going to set off at 80%. He's going to put the marker of what should be around about 30 seconds. If you want to time yourself and run to your 30 seconds, you're more than welcome to. That's totally fine. And then what you'll do is, so you'll set off, we'll set off in pairs or in singles, but if you've got somebody you'd like to run with, that's not a problem. You'll run up, and then as you finish, come jogging down the outside, either to the right or to the left, leaving a lot of space for people who are going to be doing their reps upwards, so that when you're jogging down, you're giving them plenty of space. So the few things to remember with the hills. First thing, start off within yourself. The last thing you want to do is to absolutely nail it up the hill, completely fill your legs with lactic, and then you're absolutely ruined for the rest of the session. That's not a pretty sight. There's nowhere to be sick, and that's not what you want to do. So what you want to do is set off around about, like Andy said, about 70% of your maximum, about 75% of your maximum, and build your way through the session. The idea is you might be able to run further, or you get to the 30-second point quicker, but you want to get faster as you go. And a few things to think about: stay nice and tall when you're running. What you don't want to be doing is that, and running up, because that's not very economical at all. You want to stay nice and tall, using your arms and driving from your glutes and your calves, trying to stay nice and springy on your toes. So it's not like just gritting your teeth and going as hard as you can. Think about your form, think about your technique, and that'll actually help you. It'll feel easier, and you'll probably be able to run better, and it'll increase your efficiency, so that when we come to do track sessions, you've taught your body really good habits. Guys, good work. Second two. Nice work, guys. Really good stuff.
Okay, so at number 5, on the way down. Oh. How you feeling, lads? Not great.
It's going to be easy.
Oh my god, that hill was rough, wasn't it? Jeez, 30 seconds. Oh. Hey Molly, how you feeling?
Good. I mean, burning a little bit after number 6, but it's good. It's fun.
Rep number 6.
Yeah.
Let's go for number 7. Oh. I'm gonna do that again. 10 was enough. Oh. Teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you for putting me for the last 5 reps.
It's good. You pulled me up with your long legs.
You feel great afterwards when you get home tonight, you sit on the sofa, watching whatever it is.